Now on a new generational hardware. The official sort of sequel, but not quite a sequel, but it's more than DLC. Spider-Man game is here. Spider-Man Miles Morales. And yes, all footage you will be seeing is on the PlayStation 5. So how is this PlayStation 5 launch title? Here we go. We're in it. Well, to start, we should focus on what has been improved. And to be honest, there isn't much improved from the original game, which is also available on the PlayStation 5 in remastered glory. The gameplay is largely the same. There are some tweaks there, mainly with some special powers that Miles may have. He can go invisible and use this shock-like power called Venom. I'm not sure that is the best name, since I'm pretty sure that's going to be very confusing in future titles. Sort of a spoiler there, not really, but sort of. If you know Spider-Man, you know what I'm talking about. But yes, all the main pros of the good combat system in the original Spider-Man game is here, as well as all of the awkwardness. There's a lot of times where you just swing around, good choice of words there, looking for someone to hit, and you just can't find them, or you have to run up to them. Basically just blows the whole flow of the combat open. That is not good. Now the Venom Power is a neat little trick, but as a whole, Miles has a lot less weapons to use than Peter had. And honestly, in combat, that doesn't make a huge difference. The stealth in this game is really bad. Yes, you can go invisible, which you would think would help a lot, but doesn't really affect a whole lot. And come to think of it, stealth in the other Spider-Man game was kind of lackluster as well.
There we go. Jesus Christ. Okay. I mean, okay.
Not being lackluster at all is the amazing presentation. All of the old Spider-Man themes have been remixed here to fit Miles Morales better. The PlayStation 5 hardware really opens up the textures and graphics to make this one of the best looking cities ever. I do think faces look a little strange. And speaking of faces, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Yes, Peter's face looks different, and social media went wild over this. But to be honest, I actually kind of prefer this face. I didn't really think Peter even really looked human in the old game. And while this is more like Tom Holland, it actually looks like a human to me, so that's a good thing. To me, I'd rather have my Peter Parker looking like an actual person than some weird Gumby character. You can also go back and forth between performance and quality mode. Quality will make this already gorgeous game slightly better, and performance will change the FPS to 60. My tip is to go with performance mode. Yes, it's slightly worse, but it's not really noticeable, especially as you're flying around New York City. The story of this game looks like it's redoing the model from the original game. There's some minor spoilers here, but I'll try to keep it as free as I can, but you have been warned. Your friend is obviously the villain. The villain is exposed. You must now stop your friend. There are some other minor twists in here, but nothing that is super surprising. The only real difference between this and the original game is how much faster this game gets to the point. I want to say this game takes you about 6 hours to finish, maybe less. I 100%ed it the first time by and haven't gotten a New Game Plus yet, so I don't know for sure on that number. But everything is just way faster. The first time you really confront the main villain, that's when you find out it is in fact your friend, which everyone kind of knew from the start anyway. Just look at the shape of the body, it's the same. But regardless, it's a really short story. It almost seems like they either cut content out or they added a lot to the story mid production. This is probably going to be a DLC to begin with, and then they either added stuff in it or there's going to be a full-fledged game and then they cut stuff on it to make it so it fits the PlayStation 5. I'm not too sure. There's something weird there with the story. It's an awkward length. It fits the price point, I suppose, and it's not a full price game, and I'm not really sure what that is anymore, whether it's 60 or 70, but this is not $60, so that's a good thing. And if you do get the $60 version, you actually get the other Spider-Man game with it remastered for free. Nice little touch there. But man, it sure seems like the story could have gone into way more detail. Great ending to the story though. I love this ending. This ending is better than the original game in my opinion. And there is a secret cutscene after the credits. Just want to point that out there, and that's going to lead to the next Spider-Man game. I don't want to spoil what it is, but we kind of already got an idea what it's going to be anyway. The missions in this game are largely the same, just skin slightly different. Now there is a new music sample mission, which It kind of sucks if I'm being honest, but everything else is largely the same. You stop the crimes, you collect time capsules instead of backpacks, you go to HQs instead of HQs. Mainly everything is the same. Even the pigeon side mission guy is back. Standout to me though is the hologram training, where Peter tells stories of his past work and he makes a lot of jokes. Those are great, even though they do repeat after a while if you're trying to get the highest rating on it, and you're going to hear the same ones over and over again. There's about 3 or 4 tied to each thing, but they're so fantastic to hear. You still earn costumes, and these costumes are awesome. There's even one with the Into the Spider-Verse outfit, and you can give it the frame rate style of the movie, which I didn't really use a lot because it kind of bothered me. It kind of gave me a headache. You get the cat costume for beating the game, and I gotta tell you, that is the best costume in the game. You have a little cat behind you. It's the best thing. He beats people up. I don't know if the cat, there's no way a cat would stay in there. At least mine wouldn't. Riz might, but the other one might not. But that is the best costume in the game by far. Overall, the game ran pretty fantastic, especially in performance mode. You want to know something crazy about this game? The loading times. It's pretty much instant. Fast traveling, you're pretty much instantly there. I don't even have time to see the subway cutscenes. Apparently, you can turn those on if you want to see the cutscenes / loading screens, but we've gotten to the point now where we actually have to turn on the loading screens ourselves in order to see them. I never did that. I never looked. I never tried. But it's basically instant, and it's just mind-blowing about how fast this game loads. Now, I did have one crash, and it was a bit odd. And it's the only crash I had on the PlayStation 5, the whole console, however. There was a few weird hiccup glitches there. I was running on a rail or something like that would happen. But overall, performance-wise, it was pretty good. I feel like we had the same problems with the first game. If you have the problems with the first game, this is going to be the exact same game, just reskinned pretty much, is what I'm saying. With a little bit more detail here and there. And I want to say, Spider-Man games, even the original game, fantastic amount of detail. There's animal wildlife running around. You can take selfies. You can take selfies with people. If you mess up falling down, Miles will just belly flop against the ground. It's great. Sometimes he'll get to the top and he'll kind of stumble because he's not used to it. There's just small things like that that just put this game over the top, and it's fantastic. Overall, I would say Spider-Man Miles Morales is indeed worth it. It's not a full price game. It's still a great game. It shows off the PlayStation 5 hardware pretty good, even though it is on the PlayStation 4. Pretty sure there's a PlayStation 4 version, but let's be honest here. This PlayStation 5 version is the true version. Overall, I would give Spider-Man Miles Morales a 8.1 out of 10.
Thank you for watching. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe for more content. Comment down below and check the description for links such as the Discord.